For hundreds of millions of years, the continents of Earth were barren rock. The land was dry, harsh, and utterly lifeless. But beneath the waves, the oceans were already teeming with activity. This is where the story of the plant kingdom begins, with its earliest and simplest members, the algae. Depending on the pigments they possess, these organisms are divided into three main classes: the green, Chlorophyceae, the brown, Phaeophyceae, and the red, Rhodophyceae. This illustration compares a modern land plant to an early alga. You'll notice the algae lacks roots, stems, or leaves. It possesses a simple, undifferentiated body called a thallus. Because water constantly surrounds it, delivering dissolved nutrients and physically supporting its weight, the alga can stay structurally basic. This diagram illustrates a haplontic life cycle. The algae operates as a haploid organism, containing only one single set of chromosomes. If an environmental hazard damages that genetic code, there is no backup. Without a safety net, adapting to harsh environments is high risk. Dry land offered early plants a massive reward: unlimited sunlight and highly concentrated carbon dioxide. But to survive the transition to the surface, algae would need to re-engineer both their physical structures and their internal genetics. Moving to the water's edge, we find the first tentative steps onto land. These are the bryophytes, plants like mosses and liverworts. They manage to cling to damp soils, moist stones, and wood. They represent progress, but they still have severe structural limits. Bryophytes lack vascular tissue, the internal plumbing required to pump water upward. Instead of true roots, they anchor themselves with simple, hair-like structures called rhizoids, which limits their height to just a few inches. Their reproduction is also heavily restricted. Bryophytes produce flagellated sperm. To fertilize an egg, these sperm must have a physical layer of water to swim through. Their genetics exhibit an intermediate stage called a haplodiplontic life cycle. They do possess a multicellular stage with two sets of chromosomes, but the single chromosome haploid stage remains the dominant plant body. Bryophytes function as the amphibians of the plant kingdom. They survive in the open air, but they remain permanently tethered to moisture to maintain their bodies and reproduce. Moving further inland, we find the pteridophytes. This group includes ferns, representing a massive biological shift. These are the first plants equipped with true roots, stems, and leaves. As this fern uncoils upward, it utilizes internal vascular tissue. Tissues known as xylem and phloem act as a dedicated plumbing system. They pull water and nutrients from deep underground and transport them up to the leaves, allowing the plant to resist gravity and gain significant height. In pteridophytes, the genetic balance flips. The haploid phase shrinks, while the diploid sporophyte, with two chromosome sets, becomes dominant. This provides a protective backup mechanism. Having two chromosome sets protects against damaged genes, allowing increased genetic diversity and the evolution of complex body structures. Yet even with advanced plumbing and robust genetics, ferns are held back by one final weakness. They rely on spores for reproduction, and those spores still require a thin film of water to develop, which limits where they can spread. To conquer the deep continents, we look to the gymnosperms. Plants like pines, conifers, and cycads thrive in arid conditions and freezing temperatures that would kill simpler plants. They achieved this by severing their reliance on external water, thanks to the seed. This cross-section shows exactly how a gymnosperm seed works. It is an armored capsule. The tough outer casing protects the delicate embryo inside, while a stored nutrient supply provides enough food to keep it alive. These seeds allow gymnosperms to lie dormant through years of drought or travel across vast, dry territories to find new ground. With the diploid life cycle in absolute control and the embryo protected by the casing of the seed, plants finally possessed the necessary tools to inhabit almost any environment on Earth. But gymnosperms still rely heavily on the wind to carry their pollen from one tree to another. Releasing millions of pollen grains into the air, hoping a few hit their target, requires a massive expenditure of energy for a relatively low success rate. The angiosperms address this through two specific biological structures: flowers and fruits. Flowers act as biological beacons, using bright colors and nectar to recruit insects and animals. Instead of relying on random wind, the plant uses animals as highly targeted couriers to deliver pollen directly to another flower. Fruits extend this strategy. By wrapping seeds in a sweet, edible reward, angiosperms incentivize animals to consume them. The animal travels miles away, eventually depositing the seed in a new location, complete with a natural package of fertilizer. Looking at the planet from space today, the results of this evolutionary march are visible on a global scale. The barren rock that once defined the continents has been replaced by vivid green biomes. By transitioning from vulnerable single chromosome bodies to robust, genetically diverse diploid structures, plants moved out of the water and established the foundation for nearly all life on the continents.